G'day folks, welcome to the Kruger Diaries, and let's do a quick tour of Satara Rest Camp. So this is the directions board at the front of the reception, and just to give you an idea, there's toilets over there. There's plenty of toilets on the inside as well, so there's toilets here if you're just getting out of your car. There's the main car park. Yeah, and then we'll go for a bit of a drive because it's quite a large camp, and walking around here to show you all the different accommodation would take a little bit, and it's getting quite warm. So it's the end of summer. To give you an idea, it's probably end of summer, very beginning of spring. It's probably about 30 degrees Celsius. Just showing you the sightings board, give you a bit of an idea. They put here, that's today's, and we are here. Yeah, so 30 degrees Celsius, but it's dry at the moment. It's a dry heat compared to where I come from in Australia, in southeast Queensland, or all Queensland. It'll be quite humid when it gets into summer like this. But so there's the sightings board. Apparently there's been some leopards. I've just driven from Auburn to Satara, and apparently someone saw leopards. So it's getting a bit warm. It's getting later in the morning, and maybe not so lucky to go and see the leopards. So I'll take a very slow drive back when I get there. So there's the reception area over there. Let's have a look through the gift shop. Buy your postcards. There's maps in Afrikaans and English. There's a lot of stuff here. There's very few places in the world that are so self-contained as Kruger like this. That you can go and, well, I'll say to self-drive. I'm not really sure. You can go up to Satara, you can drive in Kruger National Park, but the setup's not quite like this inside the park. I mean, I'm in Kruger National Park. If you go inside Kruger National Park, the bit where you drive in on safari, there's no shops inside. In fact, there's not even toilets inside that part of Kruger National Park. So pretty much if you've forgotten something major, you're probably going to find it here. So a lot of people are going to come up with their buckies, as they call them here. You call them, people in the US call them trucks. We call them all-wheel drive, I guess, for want of a better word. We got some meats, cold meats, small selection of cheeses, a little bit of fruit. But all the basics are here. You got drinks, all sorts of stuff. Sorry if I'm going a bit fast on this. Fruit juices, need a pep up, get yourself some Gatorade, Powerade, Red Bull, etc. They got Dragon, Monster, beer, apple ciders. Again, a lot of people in South Africa will drive. They'll have their own food and drink that they bring up. They got refrigeration, well, they got, we call them eskies back home, cooler boxes, whatever, big ones, fully self-contained to bring up here. But again, if there's anything you've forgotten about, there we go, deodorants, mouthwash, toothpaste, Panadol, Dettol, all sorts of stuff for your barbecue, or braai as they call it here. So don't fret if you think you've forgotten something. Wine here. And compared to Australia, I mean, we're in a tourist spot, for want of a better word, inside Kruger National Park. But I guarantee you a lot of these, I guess some of them are kind of your basic spirits. You've got Gordon's Gins, Red Label, J&B, Captain Morgan's. They're going to be cheaper than what I pay at home going to a retail store. So all sorts of biscuits, nuts, chips, as we call them back home, or crisps, depending where you come from. We have bread. Free water filling station by the look of it. And come down here, there's camping gear, mugs, souvenirs, etc., etc. So there's a bit of an idea of what you're going to get here, binoculars and stuff like that. And if we go out here, this is the restaurant sitting area. I'll hopefully get through this a little bit quicker. So you can come here, order food. There's a restaurant further along. Excuse me. Table service as well. The Cattle Baron. And further along here, I'm rushing just a tad for this second because I can see my battery is on a yellow bar and I just want to get this. You got beer on tap over there and a barista. And you can also come here, excuse me, to the butcher shop. And they say that they do cut steaks to order as well. So that's just this area around here, and we're just about done, and we'll go for a bit of a drive around and show you some of the accommodation here as well. Okay folks, so just a short walk, maybe 50 meters, and we get to the self-contained bungalows here. There's a lot of them, so pre-book by all means. You just go on the Sandparks website to book these. I think Nicole, my partner, might have said if you're got a wild card like us, you may get these a little cheaper, but don't hold me to that. So self-contained, there's a little braai out the front and air conditioning. If you're here in summer, you're definitely going to need that. Kitchenette, so you can buy stuff here, as I just mentioned before, in the shop, or bring your own stuff, and an ensuite bathroom. So pretty much self-contained, everything you need. And from memory, looking reasonably recently, there's another washroom over there. Reasonably recently, the prices were about 1,400 or 500 or 600 rand a night, within that range, 1,400, 1,600 for these. And that's about 130 Australian dollars a night, or around $90 US a night. And at the moment, the exchange rate to the US dollar is around 18 rand. And so it goes on, E119 to 132, so it's pretty big. So bear with me, I don't camp, but they've definitely obviously got campgrounds here. So I'll see if I can drive around and find you, give you a bit of an idea about the campgrounds as well. Clearly they're a lot cheaper, but what a great way to do, you know, to be able to come to a place like Kruger, self-drive. I mean, it's one of the few places with this sort of wildlife that are accessible to so many people. You don't have to be mega rich to stay in Kruger and self-drive at all. And car hire, we car hire from Johannesburg. To give you a bit of an idea again, if you're in a short period of time, you can fly up to Hoedspruit if you don't want to do the drive from Joburg to say Hoedspruit, or Skukuza. But the car hire is more expensive in Hoedspruit, so for long-termers like me, it's actually cheaper to drive up from Johannesburg, but that's another story. Anyway, let me go see if I can find these campgrounds. As I said, I don't camp, so I'll be with you shortly once I've found them, and I'll give you a bit of a drive around those as well. So here we have it. So I was literally driving from where I was at the cabins and the camping area. Over there we've got the shared ablution block, and these are some of the stands I'm not going to talk about which ones are the best stands, but a lot of the locals know and are pretty well set up. Another ablution block over to the side there, and here's the fence line here. Let's have a look around there. At the moment it's not so packed, but again, it's not the weekend. There's a fence line to the park. Please don't feed animals that come along here. It just, look, once they're fed by humans and they don't get fed again, they become quite aggressive because they have an expectation to be fed. So please don't feed the animals here. But a lot of these rest stops, if you're a birder, especially I'd say later on, early morning or later in the day, late afternoon, great place to come and do a spot of bird watching as well. So anyway, there's the express tour of the guest camp. And thanks for watching the Wildlife Fanatic and the Kruger Diaries. And I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye for now.